Hello, it is Foundation Friday, April 10th, 2020. Steve Sipress here for another episode in our multi-part series on the great book, How to Be Rich by J. Paul Getty, written in the early 1960s, when he was the richest man on earth. And we start part 3 with the chapter, The Vanishing Americans, the value of dissent and nonconformity, according to J. Paul Getty, the richest man on earth at the time. And this story, remember, written in the early 60s. See if it has any relevance today at all. I recently had occasion, writes Getty, starting the chapter, to give a dinner party in London for a rather widely assorted group of friends and acquaintances. Among the guests was an outspoken socialist I've known for many years. When the table conversation lagged, he seized the opportunity to deliver a political monologue expressing views which were more than slightly left of center. To my amusement, one of my other guests, a vacationing American businessman, later felt constrained to ask me how I, a leading capitalist, understatement, the richest man on earth, could tolerate the presence of such a wild radical at my dinner table. Aren't you afraid to have a man like that around you spouting all those dangerous theories, he asked. Keeping a straight face, although I'm having trouble just thinking about the nonsense here, keeping a straight face, I tried to explain that socialism is an entirely respectable political ideology in Great Britain, and now in the US, unbelievably, adding for what I hoped was proper snob-appealing emphasis, that socialists are even received at Buckingham Palace by Her Majesty the Queen, who, by the way, still the Queen today. How about that? But I digress. I assured my worried fellow countrymen I didn't really consider the theories we'd heard expounded at all dangerous. I said I hoped my own convictions weren't built on such shifting foundations that a 10-minute tirade by a socialist zealot could undermine them or corrupt me. Exactly. It's called free speech. What do I care about all the BS people spout out there? You think it's going to cause me to start believing the nonsense and the BS, whether it's socialism or whether it's the fact that this virus is suddenly the most unprecedented, wildly contagious, deathly thing. We've got to destroy the whole economy and cause a depression and social lock ourselves up in our homes from like, no, I don't believe that BS for 1 minute, but people can go off on their tirades and go off and talk for an hour on TV every day and tell you all their BS. It's not going to change me. Hopefully it doesn't change you. Let them talk. It's called free speech. Getty then writes, my arguments did not appear to make very much of an impression. I strongly suspect the jittery businessman went away thinking that, at best, I had been contaminated, now there's a word of the day, by exposure to a subversive alien ideology, and at worst, had turned into one of those parlor pinks he'd heard so much about. Quite plainly, the man is one of the, unfortunately, far too numerous Americans who seem to have lost their perspective and sense of humor and fair play in recent years. It's written in the 60s. They've developed a tendency to automatically equate dissension with disloyalty. They view any criticism of our existing social, economic, and political forms as sedition and subversion. Now, I am most certainly neither parlor nor any other shade of pink. It hardly seems necessary for me, of all people, to say that I'm vigorously opposed to government ownership of industry, that I'm an energetic exponent of the free enterprise system. I can't imagine myself comfortable under a socialist regime, nor can I imagine such a regime looking upon me with much tolerance. And as Bernie would say, talk about the leading socialist American, we got to tax the rich. We got to take all their money. Billionaires are immoral and shouldn't exist. So Getty predicts Bernie Sanders' socialist tirade. The political implications of the anecdote I've cited are purely incidental and coincidental. I've used it solely to illustrate a manifestation of what I, for one, have observed to be a contemporary, and still contemporary today, American phenomenon, and which, to my mind, is disturbing, you gotta love this word, deplorable, and truly dangerous. I'm referring to the growing reluctance of Americans to criticize and their increasing tendency to condemn those who, in ever-dwindling numbers, will still voice dissent, dissatisfaction, and criticism. Let me make it quite clear that I hold no special brief for any particular ideology, party, group, or school of thought, which might want or seek to bring about changes of any kind in our manners, mores, or institutions. I'm not a reformer, crusader, social philosopher, political, or economic theorist. I do, however, consider myself enough of a realist to appreciate that this is not and never has been and never will be the best of all possible worlds. The concept that any status quo, any establishment, as they say, is perfect and permanent, that one must under no circumstances raise questions, voice doubts, or seek improvements, can only produce complacency, then stagnation, and finally collapse. It does no good to pretend there is never anything wrong anywhere, for there is always something, be it big or little, wrong everywhere. Individuals and civilizations that only strive for perfection can only strive for perfection. It is highly unlikely they will ever achieve it. So, he goes on. So he goes on to talk about famous dissenters in American history. And by the way, if you're watching this video, you're watching one now, in case you didn't realize that. And so we'll complete the rest of the chapter next week, on next Foundation Friday. But that's enough for today. If you've been watching my videos for the past 3 weeks or so, you've seen me dissent from the swamp-dwelling establishment point of view by this Fauci and the rest of those inept, hypocritical bureaucrats who stand shoulder to shoulder in front of the room every single day telling us we have to lock ourselves in our house and not come near anybody. And they keep telling us, oh, 2 million Americans were going to die, or 2 billion worldwide, or whatever. I mean, they say the same thing every few years. In case you remember, the swine flu was going to kill half the people in the world, and the bird flu, and the SARS this, and the, I can't even remember them all. But this isn't the first one. It isn't the last one. Hopefully, well, I'm more realistic than that. Unfortunately, it looks like this is not even going to be the last one to get an overreaction, faulty models, false numbers, lies from everybody, complete ineptitude by the government, as if the government's ever done anything well, and leaving us all in fear and panic and worry if you buy into the crap. And this time, a shutdown. Being told, hey, no sporting events. Hey, perfectly healthy people can't go out to eat, but they can go out to a grocery store. Let me get this straight. Let's just say there's a grocery store. Does your grocery store have a salad bar in it? Okay, so salad bar in the grocery store. Let's say there's a salad bar in the restaurant. I can go into the grocery store, can't go into the restaurant. I can go into the grocery store and I can walk up and down the aisles past everybody, within 6 feet of everybody, over and over, breathing all over their food and coughing all over their boxes of stuff and doing anything I want. But I can't go in a restaurant and sit only surrounded by maybe 10 or 12 people that are within 6 feet of me. The whole thing is such BS and makes no sense. I dissent from the establishment swamp-dwelling point of view that Tony Fauci is a hero, that somehow the CDC and the WHO and the IHME and the whatever the hell crap, all the BS initials of all the government bureaucrats that have been lying to us, screwing everything up. You got Cuomo saying, oh, we need 40,000 ventilators. Well, you already got 4,000, you're not using them. I'm saving them for the peak. Saving them for the peak. What kind of nonsense is that? Anyone that can tell what a peak is going to be ought to have all their money invested in the stock market, right? And they know when the peak is, so they'll know when to sell. Like, no one knows. The peak was already passed while he was spouting all that BS. He never used all the ventilators. Sure, it was bad in New York. It's likely it was there long before it was announced that it was there. And, you know, you had the mayor and the governor and everybody saying life is fine. And, you know, Nancy Pelosi going to Chinatown and Trump saying this is nothing. And Cuomo and de Blasio saying it's nothing. And everybody, you know, let's go to Mardi Gras and let's have Chinese New Year's. And, you know, let's not worry about anything. Well, as it ends up, the numbers show like, okay, it's a severe flu season. But causing a depression, causing tens of millions of people to go out of work, I'm sorry, but I dissent. And I'll dissent the next time they shut the government down. Speaking of which, maybe you're not prepared for this shutdown. So maybe you don't have enough money in savings. You don't have enough trusted relationships with other business people. You don't have enough relationships with customers, a list of prospects. So you're not prepared for the shutdown. Well, I have a feeling this isn't going to be the last one. It's going to go away soon for the summer because people are ready. I mean, we got 20 days to go of this. I'm already ready for people to just go march down the street and say, try and lock up all 10,000 of us. We're marching. Get away from me. Cut the crap on this whole BS thing. But supposedly we have at least 20 days to go on lockdown. Well, then this thing will calm down because they also tell us, oh, the treatments are not proven. And what? Yeah, right. But we have treatments that work and they've been safe for over 60 years. And we're just been told a line of crap by Fauci and the rest of them for whatever agenda they have. Cover their own ass or some other agenda, whatever you want to believe, but it doesn't, I'm not concerned with the motive of why they spout their BS, just the fact is, BS. And there's going to be likely or possibly another partial or full shutdown coming up next flu season, maybe 2 flu seasons from now, maybe the vaccine won't have been developed by the next flu season, it comes around every year, and they'll overreact again, shut everything down for 2 weeks, for a month, to social distance, no more sports, no more theater, no more movies, no more anything you like, no more freedom. Like, when it happens again, if it happens again, and even if a shutdown doesn't happen, recessions are going to happen over and over. Are you going to prepare for that one? Are you going to put things in place right now? Extra streams of income, transitions in your business. Do things that'll put you in a position next time that you won't have to be in fear or worry or anything. Business is running on autopilot, money's being made, make a couple of slight adjustments, big deal, you're off and running, and it gives you a lot of time, like I've been spending a lot of time, putting together new things, because I got systems that are in place, so that's all covered. And now it's an opportunity to put some new things into place, because new circumstances, and there's certainly new circumstances in the world, in case you haven't noticed, call for new systems and new strategies and new tactics in business. So that's what I'm doing. What are you doing? If you want some help with this, if you're on board totally, then you'll enjoy my free report, How to Profit from Chaos, and you'll get an invite into my new private Profit from Chaos Facebook group. It's by invitation only. You'll enjoy joining the party in there. I post examples every day and tips and strategies and tactics. We share, other people share what they're doing. It's a fun place to be. Forward-thinking, positive thinking, opportunity-minded entrepreneurs and business owners. But if you're not really there, and you're still worried, and you wonder if you're going to have a business before long, and these government grants and loans and mishmash programs, are they going to cover it? Or are they going to leave you high and dry? Are you really going to pay payroll for the next couple of months but not be able to pay the rent, so your business goes under anyway? Are you going to pay people that are, maybe they already left, they got to get a job, they went somewhere else, so they'd rather go on unemployment? Who knows? If you're worried and in fear and wondering what to do, then by all means, you got to go to profitfromchaos.com and get my free report, How to Profit from Chaos. That's not how to swindle people with overpriced Purell or fake cures for the virus or any nonsense like that. It's honest, ethical, easy, effective ways to position yourself to flourish now and make an actual absolute killing when the economy comes back again and everything starts moving up. That will not be the time to get started. That'll be the time you'll regret not getting started now when other people did and they got a big, big jump start on you. So I've put that report up. It's totally free. You go to profitfromchaos.com, also free to join my Profit from Chaos private Facebook group. That's where you get the invite at profitfromchaos.com, because as the politicians keep saying, we're in this together. Well, as business owners and entrepreneurs, we're in this together. Let's get together. Let's have some fun. Let's help some people. Let's make some money. Let's position ourselves for security and success from now and in the future. Profitfromchaos.com. That'll do it for Foundation Friday. I'll be back tomorrow on Success Story Saturday. I don't see any questions. Oh, Jeremy Danley is here. Greg Bowen is here. Great seeing you guys. I don't see any questions, comments, concerns. As always, post those below wherever you're watching this or listening to it or reading it. And I thank you for watching, and I'll catch you tomorrow on social media Saturday. Bye-bye.